Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. From Michael at Val5Links on Twitter. On July 1st, XRP was valued at 17 cents with a daily trade volume of around $1 billion. XRP has since experienced a local peak of 0.327 cents, with the daily trade volume also peaking at around 5.17 billion. This is a 417% increment in XRP's daily trade volume. So guys, I'm not going to get into this article, but I am going to show you the chart on the daily. Right now, XRP trading at about 0.305, give or take, and it is still looking fairly bullish. So this is it on the daily. Let me put it on the hourly. You guys can see that bullish trend hitting the high up here, retracing, almost getting up there, coming back down, but now we're seeing some bullish momentum. Moving to the upside, the good news is we are still making... let me draw it out here. We are still making higher lows, okay? It did come down a little bit here, but it does seem like these lows here are still higher than this one over here, so we are still making higher lows. And overall, the XRP chart is looking very, very good. And I don't know if you guys remember, even just a few months ago, people were harping that XRP wasn't doing the kinds of numbers that other cryptocurrencies were doing. Guys, if you look at Bitcoin on July 1st, okay, let's take Bitcoin's opening price on July 1st. And so it's just to kind of give you guys a sense of where we were at July 1st here for Bitcoin. And we'll take the recent high that Bitcoin hit was about 32.39%, okay, give or take. 32%. Now let's bring up XRP here from July 1st all the way to its all-time high here. So where's July 1st is over here. July 1st, XRP to its all-time high, reaching about 86%, 86.64%. So 86% versus Bitcoin's 32%. Now, it's not a race. It's not a race. It's not a competition. All I'm saying is that all cryptos will rally differently, and right now we're seeing some significant XRP gains. And this is good, guys. This is great because we're in a spec market. We're seeing investors interested in XRP. The entire crypto market is going up. The entire market cap for the crypto market is rising every single day. And so this is overall good for the entire crypto space, a healthy crypto market. And what else do we have? Well, we have this from XRP Crypto. Will Federal Reserve is expecting to make major commitments to ramping up inflation soon. So inflation with regards to the US dollar, let me get into this because this will likely have a significant impact on the crypto market as well. So in the next few months, the Federal Reserve will be solidifying a policy outline that would commit it to lower rates for years as it pursues an agenda of higher inflation and a return to the full employment picture that vanished as the pandemic hit. Recent statements from Fed officials and analysis from market veterans and economists point to a move to average inflation, targeting in which inflation above the central bank's usual 2% target would be tolerated and even desired. To achieve that goal, officials would pledge not to raise interest rates until both the inflation and employment targets are hit. With inflation now closer to 1% and the jobless rate higher than it's been since the Great Depression, the likelihood is that the Fed could need years to hit its target. So they are in fact welcoming inflation at this point. The policy initiatives could be announced as soon as September. Addressing the issue last week, Fed Chairman Jerome Powell said only that a year-long examination of policy communication and implementation would be wrapped in the near future. In quotes, the culmination of the process, which included public meetings and extensive discussion among central bank officials, is expected to be announced at or around the Federal Open Market Committee's meeting. So they are making a major commitment to ramp up inflation in order to mitigate the potential harm that it could do to the economy. Markets are anticipating a Fed that would adopt an even more accommodative approach than it did during the Great Recession. We remain firmly of the view that this is a deeply consequential shift, even if it is one that has been seeping into the Fed's decision-making for some time, that will shape a different Fed reaction function in this cycle than in the last, said Krishna Guha, head of global policy and central bank strategy at Evercore ISI. Indeed, Powell said the policy statement will be really codifying the way we're already acting with our policies. To a large extent, we're already doing the things that are in there. So the Fed not afraid to tell you that they will be ramping up inflation soon. And so could this have Americans, but not just Americans, everybody around the world who is invested in the US dollar, rethink their position in the US dollar? I believe that it will, and I think that ultimately this could result in investors hedging against the USD with cryptocurrencies. And there's a US Congressman that thinks the same thing, so I will get to that in a second. Right now, though, XRP Crypto Wolf posted this: Ripple ranks the highest among companies in the blockchain sector according to the latest annual ranking from research firm Huron. And so here's the article. The report, named the Huron Global Unicorn Index 2020, shows that there are a total of 586 unicorns globally, up from 494 companies listed in the 2019 ranking. And the blockchain industry represents 2% of the list. Ripple takes the top spot as the company with the highest valuation in the sector. It ranks at number 23, which is up from last year's index, where it held the 28th position on the list. The most significant change was made by BINANCE, which rose 30 places on the list, ultimately ending up at 108. And guys, I've noticed it for a while now, and I have been starting to say it on my channel. Binance Coin, I think, is another cryptocurrency. I'm saying it on the record here, guys. Binance Coin is another cryptocurrency that you might want to look into. I have people all the time asking me, what cryptos are you into besides XRP? Well, obviously Bitcoin. I've recently gotten into VeChain. But Binance Coin, I think there is a lot of potential for that. Guys, let me just put it on the weekly for you guys. And just to show you guys, this is the weekly since 2017. There has been an upward trend for Binance Coin since 2017. Where do you see a downtrend here? Ultimately, where do you see a downtrend? Whereas other cryptocurrencies have seen peaks and valleys. Last summer, it broke its all-time high, making new all-time highs when we had that rally last summer. Of course, during the pandemic, it did come down like other currencies, but the bullish momentum for Binance Coin is quite significant, so it is something that I'm interested in. And on this Huron Global Unicorn Index for 2020, they listed that Binance has actually rose 30 places on their list too. So just putting the pieces together, guys. This from Matthew Liny. WhatsApp finally meets requirements to roll out payments in India. So there was some red tape originally, and now apparently they have overcome those hurdles. And so they can actually now operate in India, from what I understand. The final decision is still pending, but they are on track to be able to conduct payments. So now the court will announce a hearing date to give the final decision on whether WhatsApp Pay should be allowed to expand broadly in the country. If allowed, which is expected to be the case given full compliance, payments will be enabled for 400 million Indians using the messaging service. This will make WhatsApp the biggest rival of Paytm, Amazon Pay, Phone PE, and Google Pay. So this will be huge for Facebook. As you may or may not know, Facebook does own WhatsApp, and they are getting into the payments game in India. So that's interesting. But also, along those lines, released the same day or a day later, I saw this: Indian government actively working towards a new crypto ban. So there was an old crypto ban, a blanket ban. But now an Indian government official has claimed that two ministries and the Reserve Bank of India are actively working on a legal framework to ban cryptocurrencies on the subcontinent. And this is with regards to trading, more or less. So they're making preparations to pass a law banning cryptocurrency trading. The site quoted an anonymous official as saying that consultations between the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, the Ministry of Law and Justice, and the Reserve Bank of India had begun regarding the framework of such a law. Once Parliament resumes for the session, we are hoping to get the law ratified, the official said. Parliament is expected to reconvene in late August or September. But here's what I found interesting. The official stated that the government was considering banning crypto through legislative change rather than methods such as a blanket ban from the RBI for banks dealing with crypto firms. So, banks that deal with crypto firms, let's see, I don't know. What crypto company deals with central banks around the world? Possibly Ripple. I think that they are one. Yeah, I think that they're one. Because it would be more binding, it will clearly define the illegality of the trade, the person said. So they want to refine their ban so that it does not include banning crypto firms or, let's see, perhaps XRP that deals with banks. So a huge development in India with regards to crypto trading, but not so much utility coins, specifically, as they mentioned in this article, companies, crypto firms that will be dealing with the major banks in India. So this to me looks like some of the first steps in India to give some clear regulation with regards to cryptocurrency. This tweet here, another one from XRP Crypto Wolf, U.S. Congress lawmakers urge the IRS to craft proactive tax policy for cryptocurrency. So this, somewhat in step with the India story, a group of congressional lawmakers have sent a letter to the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, that urges the U.S. tax agency to write policy that does not impede proof of stake. Representatives, and then there are a few names here, addressed IRS Commissioner Charles Rettig, explaining how staking works and why existing tax policy could directly impact U.S. interest in the utilization of the technology. And here's a quote, guys. It is possible the taxation of staking rewards as income may overstate taxpayers' actual gains from participating in this new technology. It could also result in a reporting and compliance nightmare for taxpayers and the services alike. The group of lawmakers called for staking rewards to be taxed as they are sold, since those who help validate transactions create the new tokens as well as append new blocks on the blockchain. Other forms of taxpayer-created property like crops and artwork are taxed as they are sold, and the letter's signatories argue that tokens produced via staking are more like these assets. So you know what this means, guys? Another big step by not painting all cryptocurrencies with one brush, stating that proof of stake coins will be taxed differently than proof of work coins, for example, like Bitcoin or Ethereum. Now, this doesn't have anything to do with XRP, as you guys can see, because XRP works on the consensus method, which is different than proof of stake or proof of work. Nevertheless, a very, very interesting development with regards to the crypto industry and U.S. lawmakers deciding how to tax certain cryptocurrencies differently based on the type of mechanism that they run on. So, thought that was important to bring to your attention. And this from Leonidas, guys, the XRP Arcade was released a couple of days ago. You guys probably already know Ripple released their Quarter 2 2020 report. So according to the report, Ripple's total XRP sales during the quarter were $32.55 million USD versus $1.75 million in the previous quarter. Ripple continued to pause the programmatic sales, focusing solely on its over-the-counter sales as part of providing increased XRP liquidity to RippleNet's on-demand liquidity customers. So we can see increased sales this quarter versus the last quarter, and Ripple has increased its institutional OTC sales in comparison to the past two quarters. Compared to the same period last year, current sales are 70% less, with XRP's average daily volume dropping from 322.66 million in quarter 1 2020 to 196.28 million in quarter 2. Ripple increased its total sales as a percentage of total volume from 0.006% to 0.18%, an increase of 3,000%. But this is where some people get a little anxious. While many construe Ripple's sales as negative, these sales also shed a positive light on ODL. The more activity there is in ODL, the more demand in liquidity there will be from Ripple's customers and third parties. What was particularly interesting about the quarter's report was Ripple's revelation that Ripple also buys XRP. So that was interesting. A healthy, orderly XRP market is required to minimize costs and risk for customers, and Ripple plays a responsible role in the liquidity process. As more financial institutions leverage RippleNet's ODL service, more liquidity is added into the XRP market. That said, Ripple has been a buyer in the secondary market and may continue to undertake purchases in the future at market prices. So adding that in the mix, Ripple becomes a buyer of XRP, adding to the ecosystem. Also increasing programmatic sales because there is need for ODL. Guys, this is all good stuff. Let's not focus on the idea that by increasing over-the-counter sales will not affect price. Let's focus on the XRP market and how it needs to be robust in order for XRP to have value, to have perceived value, so as to bolster ODL. Therefore, customers will have a need for XRP. Need creates demand, and demand organically increases price. Think of it that way. And so along these lines, Attack XRP posted this: Ripple XRP is the most hated crypto, and it is for a lot of reasons, because there are Bitcoin maximalists out there who think, well, why would you need this? It works with banks, and we are against the banks. But here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. Ripple, the company, has been building the foundation of XRP through partnerships and payment networks. While the prices of alternative coins distract investors, Ripple is securing a future for XRP. Most people understand the price of something but ignore the value behind the price. There are two kinds of values in this world that play into our emotions: perceived value and actual value. The price of something often shows up as perceived value until its real value is revealed. In XRP's case, most retail investors are distracted from its value while Bitcoin is trying to replace the system. XRP is trying to work with the system. And so, he gives an example down here, and I thought it was a really, really great example. I will just paraphrase it for you guys. He discusses Napster in the early 2000s and how it played a role for streaming music. Before that, we had cassettes and we had CDs, compact discs, and that's how people consumed music. Well, Napster came about. They didn't comply with the rules. They were mired in many legal battles for copyright infringement and royalty issues, and so the government said, let's ban Napster. We can't have this company ruining the music industry. Well, what did Napster do? Inadvertently, it created an avenue for other companies like iTunes originally and then Spotify to open up their doors, be regulatory compliant, and create multi-million-dollar companies by using the same technology, yet working with governments and regulators. The exact same thing, guys, is happening in cryptocurrency with XRP. Bitcoin paved the way. It allowed people to understand blockchain technology, but it is an anarchistic cryptocurrency that works against the system. Now enter Ripple and XRP. XRP is like Bitcoin 2.0, improving on Bitcoin's flaws, and Ripple, the company, working with regulators so that they can create a niche for themselves to work within the payments industry globally. XRP is the Spotify to Bitcoin's Napster. Okay, that's essentially the argument in a nutshell. So I got to thank Attack XRP for posting that. It really does paint an interesting picture because this is going to be the future. This really will change the way people make payments globally. And, you know, Bitcoin, to its credit, it has come a long way as well. So maybe this isn't a completely accurate picture with regards to Bitcoin and XRP because Bitcoin is becoming more regulated, is becoming an investment opportunity that Wall Street is noticing. And not only that, U.S. Congressman Tom Emmer believes the same thing. So this posted from XRP Crypto Wolf. Bitcoin ain't going away. It's just going to get stronger. This is coming from a U.S. Congressman, namely Tom Emmer, and this is what he said on the Pompliano podcast. The decentralized nature of Bitcoin is what makes it stand out compared to traditionally tightly controlled fiat currencies, U.S. Congressman Tom Emmer said yesterday during the Pomp podcast hosted by Morgan Creek Digital co-founder Anthony Pompliano. Emmer pointed out that Bitcoin was conceived by Satoshi. Okay, he goes into the history of it. People are looking for new stores of value amid the U.S. government's unprecedented relief measures that could ultimately devalue the dollar. So that's an interesting statement, kind of echoing what I was saying here about the Fed and how they are committing to ramping up inflation. So let's get back to this. As we come out of the crisis, Bitcoin ain't going away. It's going to get stronger. And now Brian Brooks is saying, hey, institutions, if you can start banking this stuff, you can provide a home for it, you can start working with it. He was referring to Brooks' recent statement that banks in the U.S. are allowed to custody cryptocurrencies, a move widely supported by the crypto industry. As Decrypt reported, the congressman also defended Bitcoin in the wake of the recent Twitter hack, stating that Bitcoin isn't the problem, centralized control is. So here he talks about how Twitter is a centralized entity and it wasn't Bitcoin's screw up, it was Twitter's screw up, despite what the media had you believe. He also explained that this is why he doesn't like centralized control. In an example, Emmer recalled when the beer flu started spreading in Wuhan and the local government just shut everybody down since it was in control of fiat currencies. The government has your currency all on a card, and guess what? If you lived in Wuhan, they shut you down, man. You couldn't get a ride out of Wuhan to another city. You couldn't go get some groceries unless the government released you to go get groceries. So need I say more about what I don't like about centralized control? Emmer added that when Facebook's Libra cryptocurrency was first proposed, he thought, oh, what a great, wonderful concept, but somebody's got to be in control, right? Citing The Road to Serfdom, a book written by Austrian-British economist and philosopher Friedrich Hayek, Emmer pointed out that in the centralized system, there always has to be somebody or a group that decides the allocation of money, and that is never a good thing. Let me go down here. I don't want to see the government screw up, and that's the crypto area, he added, pointing out that Bitcoin's decentralization is what could make it the next phase of contemporary monetary systems. I think we're just moving into the next phase, which is why crypto, the area, excites me, because I do think the government has a role. Yeah, I'm not going to say no. I don't think it has a big role. I think people can police themselves, Emmer noted, adding, I don't like the fact that my colleagues think everybody is so dumb that they're all going to get fleeced all the time. You know, the greatest gain is through the greatest risk. That is a good point. However, you do have to be careful with your investment. And, you know, in times of uncertainty, we've seen this with runs on the banks. If inflation goes crazy, if people decide to run on their banks, crypto will flourish just based on that alone. So we're kind of in this perfect storm for this kind of thing to happen. And I don't think this is why crypto is rallying right now, or it could partially be why crypto is rallying right now. But Tom Emmer has some great points here, and this coming from a U.S. congressman, guys. Crypto has certainly come a long way in the last 5 years, I'd say. The positive sentiment has grown greatly since 2018 particularly, and now Tom Emmer saying, you know, Bitcoin ain't going away, it's just going to get stronger. Very, very interesting, guys. I'll link this article in the description for those of you guys who want to read further. This from Michael at Val5 Links, and it has to do with some. So that's right, Ripple has announced its follow-up investment in XRP Labs, the company that builds software for the XRP ledger. So they're getting some freshly injected funds to support the continued growth and development of the XRP-based Sum wallet. We are looking forward to watching some in the XRP community that's supporting it grow to new heights with this funding. The Sum wallet was created by Viets Vin, one of the most prominent developers in the XRP community. It offers an opportunity to almost instantly deposit and withdraw XRP to non-custodial accounts, thus become their own bank by storing their own private keys. So more money, I don't know if it was from Ripple directly or from the Spring Initiative. Nevertheless, the XRP Labs is getting a cash injection to help develop the Sum app. You guys can get the Sum app from the App Store or Google Play. If you are interested in another wallet solution, this guy's from XRP Crypto Wolf, Ripple University Blockchain Research Initiative, which supports blockchains, Research Kyoto University, is openly recruiting technical assistants to technically support research projects utilizing XRP. That's right, I downloaded the PDF, had to translate it, and here it says development of prototype of energy trading system based on given specifications, XRP validator maintenance, XRP download, and manage payment data. So this gives you some insight on the specifics for this particular job position out of Japan. Again, working with the XRPL ecosystem and sponsored by the UBRI initiative, which Ripple indeed helps fund. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Also, this guy's from Matt at Matthew Lany on Twitter. PostPay, an electronic money institution, EMI, in Italy, is XRP integrated via Volente Volpay. So the partnership is aimed at enhancing the Post Italian Group's payment modernization program, including its open banking platform, establishing instant payments and providing a new gateway to traditional interbank networks, mobile app payments, digital payments, Italian payment champion, advanced customer data capabilities, leading financial web and app platforms. So this, with regards to Italy, we know this is XRP integrated, and just about a month ago or so, we did hear this news about how many Italian banks are going to be working off blockchain settlement systems that will be powered by R3, which is also XRP enabled. And it doesn't say it in this article, but I do remember the number being, I think it was something like 85% of Italian banks will be running on blockchain technology by, I think it was pretty soon, by 2021. Q1 of 2021, if I'm not mistaken. If I am mistaken, though, please do put it in the comments. I do not like to give inaccurate information. I'm just going off my memory here, guys. Maybe some of you might remember the exact time that Italian banks will be on this system, 100%. So that's interesting news. Thanks so much to Matthew Lany on Twitter for posting this. And I just wanted to get back to this for a second because despite the fact that the Fed is expected to make a major commitment to ramping up inflation, you know what this means, and it's really, really important if you have cash on the side. People aren't going to want their cash to be devalued. So what this means, and this is the exact same article, I just scrolled down further here in the article, the market weighs in, the investing implications will be substantial. Yardeni said the approach will be wildly bullish for alternative asset classes, and in particular growth stocks and precious metals like gold and silver. Now, they don't mention cryptocurrencies, but they do mention alternative asset classes, and we know cryptocurrency is the ultimate alternative asset class that can hedge against growing inflation in the United States. So something to be aware of. They are saying it in this CNBC article. The market will become wildly bullish for alternative asset classes. Guha said that the Fed's move will see real yields persistently lower, the dollar lower, volatility lower, credit spreads lower, and equities higher. Investors have been making heavy bets that would be consistent with inflation, record highs in gold, sharp declines in the US dollar, and a rush into TIPS or Treasury inflation-protected securities. TIPS funds have seen 6 consecutive weeks of net inflows in investor cash, including $1.9 billion and $1.5 billion respectively during the weeks of June 24th and July 1st, and $271 million for the week ending July 29th, according to Refinitiv. So major bets are being made in alternative asset classes. Guys, they are not spelling it out for you, but cryptocurrency is going to be one of those alternative asset classes that go bullish. We are already seeing it right now. This is BNB on the weekly. We are seeing it for Bitcoin. Okay, we are seeing it for XRP. All these cryptocurrencies are growing significantly. And so I got to remind you guys, this is just a friendly reminder, don't invest more than you can afford to lose. Unfortunately, some people do that. And this from DIY investing. I've actually had somebody in my Discord liquidate $50,000 the other day. People shouldn't mess with margin. They will piss away their portfolio before anything even happens. This is a terrible story. This retweeted, and just a screen grab here. I took $50,000 loan, sold away my motorbike, sold 5 BTC and 500 Link, put it all in AMPL to get rebased in 2 times. Now I have been liquidated 75%. I have no other option. I feel like suicide now. I feel so down and have lost my life. This feeling hurts me so bad and I don't know what to do right now. This is the most miserable day in my life. I am so effing hate myself right now. I have went bankrupt in a matter of 2 days. I'm just crying every single day. A sad story. Remember, guys, this is real money on the table. This can be a life-altering opportunity, but this is also a good time to remember not to get too greedy. Do not overextend yourself. Be happy with what you have. Make sure you have an exit plan. Also remember, you are never going to get out at all-time highs, nor are you going to be able to buy at all-time lows. If you do, I guarantee you it was just luck. But this should be a happy time for everybody who has invested in cryptocurrency over the last several years. Have a strategy for selling some of your crypto, but remember, never sell all of it. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.